I'm racing across the world with just one goal, to win the league in as many countries as we can as fast as we can. But there's one big rule: when it's time to switch nations, I can only move clubs to cities within 250 kilometers of teams that I have beaten. It might sound quite far, but this journey will take us over 4,000 kilometers through 8 countries and into 3 leagues that I've never managed in before. But just for this first episode, we're doubling this distance to 500 kilometers. We'll be beginning in Azerbaijan, weaving our way through Europe, including Greece, Croatia and France, before finally ending our trip in the Premier League. It's the ultimate journeyman save, and we'll be trying to learn as much as we can about each nation, city and club. Sit back, grab your favourite Azerbaijani snacks, and let's attack Baku. I guess we should start with our manager and our club choice. Manager was easy. This is the last chance I'll ever have to use Neil Warnock, so he seems to be the perfect choice for this journeyman across the world save. He might be 75 years old, but I think he's got at least 10 more seasons in him. But where is Sheffield's finest ever manager starting? We'll be starting in the capital city of Azerbaijan. Baku, probably most well known for being a Formula 1 race, is also the lowest lying capital city in the world. It's also home to a small football club called Sabail FK. They finished 3rd in their second ever season back in 2017, but they've been relegation candidates ever since. I think they're the perfect team for Neil Warnock. We've got 2 routes that we can take here. We can go via the north, trying to beat Turan Tovuz and gain access to some of Turkey's most famous sides, including Trabzonspor and Rizespor. Alternatively, we can go via the south and try and beat the worst quality Araz, but this path results in us having to move to a 2nd division Erzurumspor, which would force a promotion and a league win. This is going to put a lot of pressure on 3 matches. The away match at Turan Tovuz can cut 2 years off our journey. We'll also need to beat the reigning champions Qarabag twice to make sure we get the title and we're allowed to leave the country. I have no idea who's in my squad. I have no idea what a good rating for the Azerbaijan Premier League is, but I do know at least one of these players on screen will become a hero in today's episode. Let's find out who. Just like we'll do every season, the first few weeks are all about learning about our squad's strengths and weaknesses. While we have a pretty big budget for this level, we can't compete with a team like Qarabag. Before the season starts, they signed 3 of the players that we shortlisted, while we only have enough money to pick up Ozobik and Simi for very cheap transfers. Before we knew it, it was time for Warnock to manage his first ever game in Azerbaijan. Our first game was against another team from Baku, so it was as close to a rivalry as we will get this season. It seemed like Warnock was struggling to adapt to such a different culture in the first half. The second half went so much better. As you'd expect, this first win got the fans on side straight away. A few more games passed, first against Sabail and then secondly against Azeri, and after playing 3 and winning 3, it looked like things were absolutely going Warnock's way. None of these teams were particularly useful for our challenges though, with 2 of the games being at home and the other one here, 600 kilometers away from any playable team in the Turkish league. Time passed and October had the biggest date of the season yet. It was time for Qarabag to come to our stadium. Qarabag are also unbeaten this year and they've won 10 of the last 11 Azerbaijani Premier League titles. If we wanted to win this league, we had to win this game. All 3,200 seats of the Bail Arena were sold out, with fans from all 4 Baku teams wanting to see what could become a title decider. Of course, it is a little bit redundant to call the 9th game of the season a title decider, especially when we've got 27 other games and we've still got to play Qarabag another 3 times. But it's still very important to get off to a good start, and I would say we did exactly that. We got a shot in after just 5 minutes, but Qarabag also had their own attack, hitting the post before we'd even got to 10 minutes, so this was turning out to be a pretty amazing game. Our attacking midfielder played it through to Simi, and I have to say, when I signed him, I didn't actually check his pace, and annoyingly he only has 51 sprint speed. It's still enough to get past a lot of players in this league, but we're going to mainly have to use his physicality and his passing skills, which did lead to this chance, and that would have been an absolutely amazing volley if we could have got that off. While I'm a little bit disappointed by Simi, I can't say the same thing for Ozobik, although it was his mistake that's led to this chance and this good save from our goalkeeper. Ozobik moves and plays like a very premium player. Hopefully you understand what I mean by that, but when he's got control of the ball, you know that he can dribble around 2 or 3 players, and we're going to need to see that in plenty of matches this year. Nothing came from that Qarabag corner, but from their counter-attack, something is going to come. Andrade sprinting straight down the middle and smashing it past our goalkeeper to make it 1-0. We do still have a little bit of time to try and get the comeback, but 10 minutes against the best team in the league is going to take some serious commitment, and we're going to need an absolute wonder goal if we're going to score. Azerbaijan is the kind of guy that can do exactly that. He dribbles round 3, he's got Simi in front of him, he tries to find him, and Simi absolutely whiffs the volley, and unfortunately that isn't the goal, but he's going to get another chance. He does have a little bit of pace, and it's enough to get through this gap. Can he find the finish? The answer is no, he can't even find the target. We would have a couple of half chances just before the game would end, including this one here where Gomes couldn't quite get the shot away, but Qarabag would survive and they would win the first of our 4 matches against them this season. After playing Qarabag, things didn't get much easier for Sabail and Warnock. Only a few days later, we were planning our longest away trip of the season. We were going to play against Araz, and this was one of the 2 away matches that can define our future. Because we're yet to play against Tovuz, we needed to win this match just to make sure that we can leave Azerbaijan. I can already see a few comments asking why Neil Warnock's playing a 4-3-3 instead of a 4-4-2, a formation that he is very famous for using. Well, in this series, we're going to use a variety of the different tactics that Neil Warnock has used throughout his career, and we're actually basing our team this season on the Huddersfield Town tactics that he used towards the end of last year. A 4-2-3-1 with fast build-up, forward runs, and a fairly wide squad is exactly what we're trying. In this really far away day, we're trying to get the ball to Gomes, Azopic, and Simi as much as we can, and this is exactly what Huddersfield Town tried to do with Ward, Diarra, and Karoma last year. While I talk about Neil Warnock's tactics, you could see that we weren't actually having the best first half in this match. With our last chance of the first half though, Gomes got down the wing and his cross really let him down. Simi was in the middle waiting for a header. It was going to be 0-0 at half time and a pretty bad game. But Warnock and the rest of the squad only had 15 minutes to try and get a win so we could secure one of the routes out of Azerbaijan. We got the ball out to Ramazanov, he would cut inside. We had Simi running through the middle, but it would be intercepted. That's how close we were to getting chances. Warnock decided to increase the press. He pushed his defensive line even higher, and it was all Sabail for the last 10 minutes. Simi used his powerful frame to get into the box, and with an open net, we hit the post. An absolutely horrific miss, and that's the kind of thing Warnock's not used to seeing. There's no way Ramazanov gets anywhere near his Sheffield United or Huddersfield Town or even Cardiff City squads, but Azobic might with passing like that. Simi has just enough pace, and his finishing is lethal. Finally, with 5 minutes to go, we get the win. We can actually confirm we can leave the country because there is actually a Turkish team in range of Araz, even if there isn't any other team we've beaten. After the relief of getting a route out of the country, the very next game was away at Turan Tovuz. If we win this, we can head straight for Trabzonspor or Rizespor in the Turkish Premier League. If we don't win this one, then it's going to be a multiple season adventure in the Turkish second division via Erzurumspor. Our team was in way better form than Tovuz, so we knew we had a solid chance. We really want to get this route because Neil Warnock's 75 years old. He doesn't have time to wait around in the Turkish second division or even a second season in the Azerbaijani Premier League. He wants to be moving to those good teams. He wants Rizespor, he wants Trabzonspor. So we needed to get off to a really good start just to keep Warnock happy. And Simi did exactly that. He might not have pace to run, but he has a head, he can jump, he knows how to finish, and he puts us 1-0 up. Turan Tovuz have a chance to equalise basically straight away. It's a brilliant flicked header, and it's an even better volley from the rebound. It's 1-1 within half an hour. This was turning out to be an absolutely amazing match to watch. With some of the Sabail players looking over and seeing Neil Warnock getting passionate on the touchline, they knew they had to kick things up a gear, and straight from kickoff, Armadov runs from defensive midfield, finds Simi, he holds off his man, and finishes straight past the goalkeeper. 2-1 basically instantly. Defensive solidity is a massive part of Warnock's style, so we went all-out defense for the rest of the game. I'm sure we can hold out for 45 minutes, right? No, we couldn't even hold out for 10. It was 2-2 before half-time. Warnock decided to tell his players to be more aggressive in their defending, but this wasn't what he had in mind. Somehow, Sabail got away with that penalty shout, and we survived until half-time. 2-2 going into the break. It was going to be a massive half if we wanted to complete this challenge a little bit quicker. This is the kind of thing we need though. Najjar with probably the goal of the season. While he might not have the defensive ability of some of Warnock's old midfielders like Michael Tong, I'd like to see them try this. The amount of technique to hit that straight on the volley, straight back where it came from with that much topspin and that much pace. That is some serious talent right there from Najar. So that meant we just had 20 minutes to hold on for the rest of this game. Of course, Turan Tovuz are gonna keep pressing forward. They got the ball out wide, a back heel, some poor goalkeeping, some poor defending, and a 3-3 equaliser. I think deep down we knew we were going to get one more chance, and it looked like it was about to come in the 83rd minute. Hazanov turned his man. We had Abdullayev on the left, we had Ramalingon in the middle. The cutback came across, but he didn't hit it first time, and the goalkeeper would smother it. Despite being a really fun game to watch, this 3-3 has put a lot of pressure on the rest of the season. In Azerbaijan, every team plays every other team 4 times, home and away twice. So we could have done with the relief of confirming the better route before the halfway point, but we do have the chance to make things right in the second half of the season. We'll just have to take that match even more seriously. It was actually only a few weeks later that we had to make the long away trip back to Tovuz for the second time. It really didn't matter how far the distance was though, because this time we had Azerbaijan back in the squad and we were even more confident about getting the 3 points. This game had 2 big things happening. First of all, we went behind as we've just seen right there after 25 minutes, but the second thing was how weird the referee was at giving decisions. There was a lot of tackles flying in to be fair, but as Maralami brought the ball into the box, it looked like he got tripped, but no penalty given. I'm not going to be one of those people that claims all referees are corrupt, but there were definitely some strange decisions later on in the game. As always, the team was basically just Azerbaijan doing some nice skills and passing the ball to Simi to get on to shoot, but this time it was the other way around and it worked even better. Azerbaijan with a really nice finish, we had our equaliser, and now we needed a little bit more. It was actually really nice build up there from Simi too to find the space, and it's not really what we signed him to be doing. I think Najar was probably inspired by the last match and tried to do the same right there with a finesse into the top corner, but it was a great save, and this is how you finish. That was such a satisfying goal to watch. Neil Warnock was absolutely ecstatic, the fans all around the stadium were ecstatic, and it looked like we could possibly be going on to get a massive away win against Turan Tovuz. So this is one of the strange decisions. They slid in to pass the ball, but they got a free kick because of it, just because we tried to block it. Very unusual, not so sure why that one was given. Some good link-up play again between Azerbaijan and Simi, but this time he was just a battering ram, and he just pushed his way through the Turan Tovuz defence and made it 3-1. There's no way we're going to collapse from this position. I think this is possibly the weirdest thing that's ever happened in this save though. Nabalev boots it off a Turan Tovuz defender, and they get the throw-in. I have no idea what the referee thought he saw right there, but it did actually nearly lead to a goal, and that would have been absolutely hilarious if somehow we had gone on to draw or lose this game because of a bad throw-in like that. Turan Tovuz would keep pushing forward and John would score, and you could feel the atmosphere in the ground change. All of a sudden, Turan Tovuz thought they could go on to win. All of a sudden, the Sabail fans thought they were going to draw this match. Simi attempted the overhead kick, but it fell to our defender, and we had a 4-2 win in the last minute. We get the 3 points, and we get the route out of the country. In terms of this challenge's total length, the trip from Sabail's Bail Arena to Qarabag's Azeri Arena is absolutely tiny. We both called the city of Baku home, so it wasn't actually too much effort to send our scouts to watch Qarabag's last 2 matches. We noticed their stadium is a bit more modern than ours, but their centre-backs are massive and slow. Our wingers were probably faster than their fullbacks, and we've got a really physical combination midfield, while they're going a bit more technical. Sabail are just a single point behind Qarabag now after 32 games, and we've got the 2 routes secured already. We need a title to be able to leave Azerbaijan. Using all of his experience, Warnock switches from the 4-3-3 we've used all season back to his more traditional 4-4-2 formation. We ride on the bus for 50 minutes and arrive at the Azeri Arena. The final team talk was completed and both teams walked onto the pitch. Even pre-match, this game had the atmosphere of a cup final. As part of the move back to a 4-4-2, we focused on getting the ball to our wingers, with Azerbaijan and Simi playing up front together. I think every single Sabail player and fan will be happy about how the first half an hour went. We limited Qarabag to just a single shot, and we got a decent chance here. Azerbaijan playing a bit further forwards as one of the strikers intercepts the ball, runs straight through the middle, and slots it past the goalkeeper. Out of absolutely nowhere, Qarabag have gifted us a goal. If we can just hold on for 60 more minutes, we can overtake Qarabag and go to first in the Azerbaijan Premier League. The best news is that our midfield too in the 4-4-2 are both centre-backs actually playing in midfield. We have so much solidity in this squad, so if we ever had any chance of holding them off, this was going to be the match. we can't afford to concede straight away. We miss our slide tackle, and it's a really difficult chance that finds the roof of our net, and straight away, we have conceded a goal. That's Yassine Benzia, by the way. We're trying to compete with teams that can sign players like him, while we have to pick up players like Simi from Torino's reserve team. The only reason we're even in with a shout is from Neil Warnock's technical skills. Simi and Azerbaijan linking up well, and that would have been absolutely amazing. If that had found the top corner, we would have gone back ahead straight away, and surely that would have killed the morale all around this stadium. But it's going to stay 1-1. Getting towards half-time, some good defending, but then a mix-up, some more good defending, and nearly another mix-up, and we just about get away. We're trying to play it out from the back, trying to keep the ball a little bit more, and we have survived at 1-1 to half-time. The second half is going to be absolutely season-defining. So when Simi played through Azerbaijan for the second time this match, Azerbaijan would finesse it past the goalkeeper. This guy is absolutely amazing. When I said there would be a hero in this squad, I think Azerbaijan is the man. He's been showing off some of his 5-star skills in this game, and he's shown up when it absolutely matters with a brace in the biggest match of the season. Some good hold-up play from Simi, but it was all about that finish, all about that composure. And now, this time, we only have to hold on for 30 minutes, not 60. Some good classic Warnock ball carrying there from midfield, and Simi is going to link up with Azerbaijan. This will kill the game. It's his hat-trick, the big match player, the hero that Sabail deserved. No wonder Neil Warnock is looking that happy, because he knows his team have taken a big step today towards getting his first ever Azerbaijan title. He's never won a top division, and this could be his chance. At 76 years old, he just needs his team to hold on for 10 more minutes, but a missed slide tackle sees a cross come in. I think there was a fingertip save from the goalkeeper right there, keeping it off the Qarabag player's head. And Qarabag would not have another attack in the match. Simi nearly closing the game off right there with a 4-1 win. But we'll definitely take the 3 goals, the hat-trick for Azerbaijan, and also the 3 points that are going to be staying in Baku. We're now first in the table, and things are definitely in our hands. We have some pretty favourable matches to end the season, just 3 games to go. Let's see how we get on. With just 3 games to go, we have a 2-point lead. We just about scrape a win in the first match. We easily win in the second match, and we were really feeling the tension going into the last match of the season. Simi's overhead kick put us ahead early on, but Araz would go on to equalise, meaning we had just 15 minutes to score. This one-on-one chance, probably our best opportunity, hit it at the goalkeeper, but we scored the rebound. Somehow, we ended the season with 5 wins in a row, and Qarabag will have to accept finishing second place, just 2 points behind us. Somehow, we have done it. Neil Warnock is free to leave the nation, and our away wins mean that we're free to join either Trabzonspor or Rizespor in the Turkish Super League. We could also join Erzurumspor, who have managed to get promotion from the second division, but if you head over to my Instagram, you can vote where you would go right now. We've scouted all 3 teams, and I think we'll be happy to join any of them. Whether the next episode was with the giant Trabzonspor, the mid-table Rizespor, or the newly taken over Erzurumspor, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an even more crazy episode, and why don't you consider becoming a channel member, because you'll be able to watch that episode right now. We're going to take on the Istanbul behemoths of Galatasaray, Besiktas and Fenerbahce, but until then, thanks for watching, share this video if you enjoyed it, and both me and Neil Warnock will see you soon.